Hello everyone, this is Randy here again, another episode of Farming Simulator 15, and we are playing on the RDAllen Farming server on the Poland map. This will probably be one of the last, or close to the last episodes on this map. Hopefully, like I said before, hopefully this weekend I will get around to doing something with the map, maybe. Anyway, this episode we're going to continue harvesting the corn that's on this field here. Looks like we got a little bit of a mismatch going with a combine here, but I'll take it. I believe this is actually the header that should go with the case combine. And while yes, it does technically connect to this combine, if I remember correctly, it doesn't lower correctly. Let's see, let's get the GPS mod going in the right direction here. That actually looks like the correct width. And fire it up. Yeah, I believe if you look at the level of that, it's actually quite high. For the fun of it here, let's hop over since we got this other combine here. And if we, we'll just lower this one, we don't need to turn it on. Yeah, you notice it's basically on the ground. Not quite. But it's pretty much on the ground, whereas, yeah, this one is, yeah, quite a ways off the ground, actually. Anyway, let's get that fired up again, and away we go. Yeah, you can tell how bad your lag is right there by if you got the corn animation there or not. See it disappearing every now and then. Yeah, as far as map choices go for the server, looks like I'm probably going to do the Coldborough map. Supposedly that map is going to get released this weekend, and if it does, I will update the server to it. If that map doesn't get released, I may wait a couple more days for it to get released. I'm not exactly sure when it's going to get released here, but, or maybe it has already, I just haven't seen it. Very well possible. There is currently a version of the Coldborough map out. There is supposed to be a new version coming out here this weekend, supposedly. That's what I read on the forum post anyway, so... Actually, technically it is already out, if I recall. And my combine has stopped. Why has my combine stopped? Okay, we're back in business here again. Apparently after our farming sim crashed there. Not sure why, I didn't bother taking the time to look, so... Anyway, like I was saying about the server here, gonna be... Ooh, that's some bad lag. Probably looking at doing the Coldborough map next. Wait for the next version of it here, I believe, to get released. Like I was saying, I read on the forum, sounds like it's ready to be released. They're just doing some preliminary stuff before it actually gets released or something like that, so... I would expect it to be fairly soon, I would think. And yeah, when that does happen, we'll probably look at switching the server over to it. We could switch it over to the current version of it. The only thing is that might cause some confusion once the current version becomes the old version. Sounds like that is supposed to be a fairly nice map. I have seen some pictures of it. And of course, you know, the current version of the current Coldborough Farms map is quite nice too. So I have played on that myself. No videos, but I have played on it. Quite a nice map. And yeah, overwhelmingly the comments has been for the Coldborough map for what people have been saying to do for the next map, so I think that's what we'll do. I'm not 100% sure yet. Like I said, I'll have to see once if the one map, or the map that is supposedly coming out here in the next couple days or week or so is going to come out. And obviously have to make sure it works as well. You know, just because it works single player doesn't mean it'll work on a server. You know, that's probably the case with the server here currently. What's causing the server to crash might never cause a you know, single-player game to crash. And in fact, like I said before, there actually are no warning messages as to what is actually causing it to crash. So, rather difficult to troubleshoot a problem when you don't actually have an error message to go by. And yeah, unfortunately, all the equipment's, you know, in-game equipment, so I really don't suspect that. Always a possibility, I guess, but and we are full. Okay, we got a couple trucks over there. We got the grain cart. Let's grab the grain cart. And yes, it is just myself on at the moment, so overshot that one a little bit. And while we're waiting for that, we'll read some comments on the last episode. Tim says the server's down. Possible, I'm on it currently. He was correct, though. The server was crashed when I went to join it here to record the video, so yeah, it seems like the server crashes, so it maybe lasts 4 or 5 hours or so and it crashes. I had no idea why. I may take some time, see if I can figure that out here after I finish recording this. Play around a little bit. You know, the map seemed to start out okay when we first started it. Didn't have any issues, so I'm not sure what's suddenly causing the issues, but okay. There's the pipe. And that looks like it's full. Oh, no, not quite, I guess. And now it's full. Oh, looks like I took off just a little bit too soon there. I thought I would empty all that. Yes, not. Okay, should empty the rest of that out of there. And we'll get back in the combine here. Wait a moment for that to completely empty. And a comment from John here. He says, great video. Thank you very much for that. And he says, no, he's not talking about the rakes there. He's talking about the swathers that cut grass. He says it's a John Deere. He saw it in my mods folder. So yes, slight misinterpretation there on my part. I assumed he was referring to the windrowers. He's actually referring. I guess I can't actually show you guys because the mods won't show up here. But the John Deere swather that I have, I don't believe I've actually used it yet. For those of you watching 2013, I'd used it quite extensively, so. Nope, wrong button. Pushing too many buttons at once there. Okay, there we go. Sorted ourselves again. And John also says I should do the newer version of the Coldborough map once it comes out. Tim says, nice video. Thank you very much for that. Also says he can't wait for the new map on the multiplayer. So yes, like I said, probably wait for the new version of the Coldborough map to come out there, and we'll switch to that map. And for those of you who haven't seen the pictures of it yet, just go on FSUK. The current version of the Coldborough's on there. Like I said, very nice map. And if you look on their forums for the Coldborough map too, the author there's got a couple pictures. I believe that's of the new map, I'm assuming. Looks quite nice, so. Farmer Mike says, the Giants editor needs the field dimensions to be laid out in a particular sequence. Overlapping causes many of the problems. And he says multiple dimensions can be made to one field, but it takes a lot of time to set these up. That's rather what I suspected. For those of you watching the Great Smoky Mountains series there, field 11 and 12 there. The corner of field 12 I could never use because it says you didn't own it. So I finally purchased field 11 there, and now I can use that corner of field 12. That's what Farmer Mike is talking about there. So, and that's what I rather suspected was the issue. Pretty much comes down to mod author being a little bit lazy, I would say, and or not paying attention. Definitely a very common problem, I would say, for maps. I've seen that a lot, so. Oh, that's an interesting turn there. Not sure what he's doing with that. Anyway, I was going to say, this map, I believe, has this issue as well. I'm trying to think what field it was now again. I've noticed it on. Oh, I think it's field 19 and 18 there. Now, we currently own field 18, doesn't have any issues, but I think if we were to own 19 and not 18, I think we would have issues. There definitely appears to be some overlap in there, because there's actually a considerable portion of 19 there that we can actually work with if we wanted to. So I'm just assuming the fact if we didn't own 18 and we owned 19, those portions that we can currently work with, we probably would not be able to unless we own both fields. I'm just assuming, like I said, I haven't actually tried that, but I'm fairly certain that's what's going to happen. And there's other maps that I've seen this issue on as well. It'd be nice if mod authors would kind of correct that issue a little bit. Latio was asking, do you have to plow the fields? No, you do not have to plow the fields. That's kind of optional if you want to. And, you know, depending on your planter you're using, you don't even have to cultivate them. The smaller planter you do have to cultivate, as well as at least the first, I think both corn planters you have to cultivate if I remember correctly. I don't believe the bigger one will let you do it yet. Double check that. So yes, you do have to cultivate for this one. You have to cultivate for both potato planters if I recall correctly. Do not have to cultivate for that one. You have to cultivate for the corn planter here and sugar beets. I do not have to cultivate. Oops. Do not have enough money. Oh, yeah, I'm not logged in. Okay. I was gonna say we should have enough money. You do not have to cultivate for the larger horse here, but you do have to cultivate for this one, I believe. Doesn't say anything, but I'm pretty sure you have to. So, you know, I'm not sure why that applies to the grain drills and not the corn planters, row crop type planter, but you know, I've mentioned that before. Seems kind of silly to me. Need a little larger headlight here so I can turn around. Make this a little easier on myself here. Missing stuff. That's what happens when you look down and reading comments and driving at the same time. Much easier to drive and use the GPS mod and read comments. %. We're almost full. Craft Farms is saying you should get the autosave mod. It's either on LS 2015 or FSUK. It says you can't remember. It is on FSUK. I do know that much. So, and we're full. It autosaves every 5 minutes. Yes, I was actually just thinking about that the other day, and you know, I've had a couple game crashes on the Smoky Mountains map there. I don't think it's the map's fault. I think it's actually my graphics driver that's taking a crap on me every now and then. And I don't think it's the graphics card either. Both my old GTX 590 and my current GTX 980 both do the same thing. Like I've said before, I think my computer is in need of a serious reinstall of Windows. Kind of trying to wait till Windows 10 comes out, so rather than, you know, just reinstalling Windows 7, I'll reinstall Windows 10 at the same time. Kind of, you know, kill two birds, one stone type of deal. Reinstall and upgrade at the same time. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what is wrong with my graphics card driver, but I know it has some gremlins in it. I know, for example, if you try to uninstall it, it'll blue screen the computer. You try to install a new one, it'll also blue screen the computer, so something's not quite right somewhere, unfortunately. Scotsman here said, I'm still reading through the comments, says he meant swathers on his previous comment there yesterday. He's trying to figure out what he meant on his commentary. He was saying he used weathers. He actually meant swathers. He says stupid autocorrect. Latio posts on the other video here, will you ever have the multiplayer server without mods? I'm just asking, because it might be better for people who can't get many mods. Just wondering about that, he was saying. Possibly without mods, we might. I'm thinking more than likely, at the very least, we'll probably have a modded map. Ooh, we just missed that tree. Now, basically, if we do it without mods, we're pretty much limited to the in-game equipment and the in-game maps, of which there's only 2, so... You know, for me personally, adding mods is where the game gets kind of fun. You know, a modless game it's kind of boring after a while. Yeah, it's definitely possible. We might, yeah, I know I still haven't done the Bjornholm map yet on the multiplayer server here, and if we do that, I can certainly do it without mods, so... And initially I did have the server without mods as well. We had the Westbridge Hills map. Didn't really have any mods on there, for a while anyway. I did eventually add the GPS mod. And now we have the vehicle switcher mod, which is that right there, the vehicle switcher. And of course we're using the GPS mod right now for driving the Combine. And then of course we got the maps, so just the 3 mods at the moment. And you know, for those of you out there who don't know how to use the mods, just look on YouTube. There's plenty of videos on how to install mods in Farming Sim 15. You know, it's relatively simple. This map here itself might not be as simple for you guys because it is zipped in an RAR file. Kind of annoying. Hopefully we'll try to avoid that in future mods. But still not, you know, overly difficult. You can certainly find videos on how to do RAR mods in Farming Sim as well. And RAR is basically just another compressed file format. That's all it is. You know, very similar to zip, just a different one. That's all it is. I know another one you don't see quite as often is 7-zip. Every now and then you'll see a few of those zip files around as well. Not quite as common. But RAR mods in Farming Sim 15 is actually somewhat common, I would say. I've seen quite a few of those. It's especially common if you got multiple mods that like come as a package or something. You know, the site you're getting from will put them in, instead of, you know, downloading each one separately, they'll put them in one RAR compressed file. That way you download one file rather than having to download multiple zip files to get the mods. Actually, a fairly good-sized cornfield here yet. I didn't think there was that much left, but it's definitely taken a while to get this done here. Also on the server here as well, I think I mentioned this last episode on the Smoky Mountains map. I think I mentioned it a few other times too, maybe. Considering adding some modded tractors to the map, or to the server. And let's grab... And that right there, by the way, is the reason we have the vehicle switcher mod. Those you have to do a lot of tabbing around to find this vehicle. But yes, like I was saying, probably going to look at adding, I'm thinking 2 to 3 tractors to the server as well. So, and when I do, don't worry, I'll make sure I get the links to all those mods and whatnot we'll be adding probably in the description of the video and in my mod list. And speaking of mod lists, I do know I get quite a few comments asking, where do I get certain mods and stuff like that. There is a link in the description below to a document that should provide you with links to all the mods I have currently. As far as I know, I think they're all in there unless I forgot one somewhere. It's very well possible. Plus, I don't update it all the time either, so if it's like a really new mod I just got, I might not have it in there yet. But yes, there should be a link in the description below. It'll take you guys to a document that'll have links to all the mods I currently have. So for you guys looking to get a mod relatively quickly and don't want to wait for me to reply to your comment, it should be in the list there somewhere. And seeing as how we're more or less probably going to do the Coldborough map next on the server, I'm thinking I've got a couple of really nice Fendt tractors we may use. And we'll start out small. We'll just add probably 2 or 3 tractors. Not going to get too carried away or anything. Just stick with a couple of vehicle mods. Don't plan on adding any implements or anything like that at this point, unless there's something spectacular out there. At this point, I don't think there really is. Yes, like I said, I do have a couple nice Fendt tractors I think will go good with the Coldborough map. And I'll try to get them off a website that's fairly trustworthy as well. I know FSUK I think has 1 or 2 Fendts. And yeah, so far I've not used any of my Fendt tractors I currently have in any of my videos yet. You guys may have seen them when I scroll through my mods, but I have not used them yet, so... I actually do have, probably at least 6 of them, I think. All different sizes. Some relatively nice modding going on there. Nice detail. Anyway, folks, I think with that, we'll call it an episode there. This may or may not be the final episode on this map. We'll have to see once. Like I said, probably depends on when the Coldborough map comes out. If it's going to be a while yet, I may go with a different map. But if it does come out this weekend, I'll probably get that up on the server here as soon as I can. So, yeah, if you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.